Yes, buckle your seatbelt.
Hey y'all, Rambling Canuck here, back for another roundtable reviews. Today we've got TOS, where no man has gone before. And with me as always, Vance Major from No Budget Productions and Captain Trek, my willing co-host or torture subject. One of the two. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with this week. I'm going to say maybe willing torture subject. But, whatever. It's all good.
We love it.
You still got Enterprise here. Oh, Joey. Joey. Okay, so we'll go around. We'll get our quick little synopsis on this. So we'll go with Vance. You go first.
Ramblin', this was a great episode. Oh my goodness, this makes me a Trek fan. You had Spock yelling, you had glowy eyes, and man, you had espers left and right. Oh my goodness, the only thing better would have been Wesley Crusher in this episode. Oh man, take it, Captain Trek.
Oh, you have to leave me with that Wesley Crusher crap. Okay.
I want what he's smoking, and why was I not allowed to share in this?
Exactly. Well, I do find that the obviously this was shot out of order, or shown out of order from when it was shot, because the uniforms are different, the stations are different on the bridge, but actually it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean the overall look was interesting. I mean it's definitely not what you get used to later. The overall story was okay. It's not the worst human turning to a god story I've ever watched.
And obviously they didn't have the lingo down, and their writing was kind of bad at points.
But I mean, it's the beginning of the series, so I mean, you can't really fault them too hard for that.
What are you talking about? You had Spock there going, deflector shields at maximum. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Keep in mind, they brought that probe aboard. They said that the tapes were burned out. They were going to check the computer. Then the tapes were damaged.
Hold on. Flip side of the coin, though, you did have I think the Enterprise D had printer paper, didn't it, at one point?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So I can't really, give this a little bit of flack for, having tapes. So it's all good, though. It's the 60s. It's all good.
No, I don't have a problem with that. My problem was the tapes were burnt out. Then they were just damaged.
Well, Watt said they needed to read them.
True.
Well, but I do remember back in the day when I had to stick my little pencil through the tape, the Memorex tape, and wind it back up. So it's all good. So it is what it is.
Yeah, or you stuck tape on the VHS thing so you could record over it.
Yeah. I recorded over Gone with the Wind so many times with my Batman Forever. Yeah.
Oops! Wait, no, you were never. Forget what I just said. You couldn't do that.
The FBI still has those warnings out. It's still legal. It's still legal.
Hey, you're not supposed to do that.
We're going to jail, gentlemen.
Yeah, darn. Or creating a mixtape. Yeah, these people never understand these things.
That's an offense worse than James R. Kirk.
Oh, yeah. On the tombstone, yeah. Bloody hell. But the other thing is, can anybody explain to me why Spock was in gold?
Because he wasn't in blue.
Well, yeah, but why?
Why not? It was laundry day. He had a gold one around. Why not, man? I mean, don't sweat the small stuff. It's what it is. It's the fact that he's yelling around there like everybody's business, and you're questioning his laundry. Who cares? It's fine. Well, you got glowy eyes, you got Spock yelling, and you're like, this gold thing. It's you got the lampshade on the captain's chair, and you're like, yeah, but that laundry. That's the kicker.
Hey, modern Trekkies will complain if the badge is wrong. Never mind the uniform.
Kelso is choking out there on the planet, and you're like, yeah, but Spock's in gold. We can't stand for this. That's not.
They should be in blue.
We're saving the blue shirt for good old Mark the Doctor there. That's going to get written out of the next episode for Bones McCoy. That's what we're saving.
God.
It's all good.
God.
Thanks
Another
for playing.
doctor. Another doctor that. Yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, he had no chemistry anyway. So that dude should have got choked out because I liked Kelso. And that's what I don't understand though. To be fair though, Gary. Good old Mitchell, he's like, hey, dude, you jacked up and messed up on the little plates there and it's going to go kablowy. And then you choke the dude out later on in the episode. It's like, dude, you're kind of a dick. What is up with that, man? Why? What's up with that, man? So I really liked Kelso. My heart kind of went out to him. So I wish we had we need to do like a little memorandum for Kelso, like a little RIP for Kelso there,
Yeah, just another one bites the dust. And he wasn't even in red.
Well, technically, I mean, he was wearing. See, what I hated as a kid, I didn't really understand that, the little lighter shade of yellow was supposed to be the red shirt. So technically, he was kind of a red shirt, but it was just this is what happens when the yellow shirts get in the bleach. It just kind of fades. This is what happens when you don't wash with Tide.
Yeah, If you made your gold uniform turn a little yellowish, we kill you off.
Yeah, we just ship you. Yeah, then you get Gary Mitchell can get you with the cord. This is So if you wash with Tide, Gary Mitchell can't touch you.
Yeah. It's that shock guard,
Right. So Ramblin', why is this your favorite episode?
It's not.
What?
It's all right, I guess.
I do think it was really funny though. We were discussing earlier, Spock, he goes from losing to chess and getting kind of pissed off, and Kirk mocking him, going from sure don't know what irritating is, to going from yelling on the bridge. And then going from dude, kill this fuck, I just wow,
Spock is all over the damn place in this episode.
And then going at the end, going, I don't feel anything, I'm purely logical. And then Kirk going, oh, there's some hope for you after all. I'm going, no, this dude's a psycho. There is what? What do you got?
Not only that, but I don't show emotion, yet he's the only person that's showing fear of what the crewman's becoming.
Fear and common sense. Because Jim is in complete denial. He's like, I'm the captain, my shirt's torn, and I'm still not going to kill this guy. I'm going to roll around on the ground, avoid this big old hole with my, tombstone misspelled with the initial of my middle name, and I'm going to, then I'm going to shoot him with this big old laser. I did like that gun, though. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the gun was kind of cool.
Gun was kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
I agree.
All right. So we've kind of just gone from A to Z of this episode in 30 seconds. So let's kind of break it down a little bit more here and start kind of rewind the tape. Speaking of VHS, and go back to the beginning and kind of so they are going. They find the remnants. They were got a transmission from a ship that. Well, they shouldn't have got a transmission from. So they track it down and they find the beacon that was, I guess, left behind at the edge of the galaxy. Not sure which galaxy, because if you think about it, you're going to have to leave our galaxy to go to Romulus later on. So what's the big deal about leaving the galaxy again?
What? What are you talking about?
No, we're all in.
Okay, we're all in the same galaxy. Okay,
yes,
all in the same guy. What? What are you smoking now? What?
I hate that trope. We're at the end of the world. It's like we're at the end of the world. We're gonna fall off.
No. Here's Enterprise flies into a pink cloud. They fly back out of it because of reasons. Spock yells. Gary gets, glowy eyes. Kelso dies. Mark the Doctor comes in. Kirk starts talking about pills, runs off, shoots dude with the gun. Boom. Great episode. Ramblin's man, I love Star Trek. Captain Trek's yes. Boom, I love Wesley. And everybody's happy.
I
God,
want
this
what
is
you're
great.
smoking.
I really do, because anybody who thinks I love Wesley, oh, God,
No,
no.
like the thing I liked about it was like we start off and we get the thing from the Valiant, and then we fly out of the galaxy. The thing I liked was the fact that they established, okay, there's this parameter outside the galaxy, which we've never. Even now, we're like looking at the galaxy, going like, we know that's not true. But I do like the fact that we've kind of established there is this kind of barrier. Why is this here? What is this? It's truly kind of the unknown, even now. So we've kind of established that, like, what is this? It's weird, because it kind of has that, again, like I've said so much, like this is classic Twilight Zone-esque vibe. This whole episode has that. When they had the cage, that was thought to be too intellectual. So they hit the reboot, was like, all right, let's restart this. And we're gonna give you a second pilot, make sure there's more action to it. I actually thought there was more intellectualism in this episode than in the cage, because they're talking about ESP, they're talking about mind control. The only thing that was more action was at the end.
Yeah.
But I love the visual effects of them flying outside the galaxy.
Oh yes, deadly
it-
pink cloud.
Yeah. The euphemism there was just like, what? It's just
Yeah, and for a minute you thought you were on the Enterprise D because consoles started blowing up for no apparent reason.
dude, I loved that. Like it's that little zzz, 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 and then wonderful fire. I love that. That's so cool, because like why are consoles exploding? Like how unsafe is this ship? I love that.
Oh, it happened on the Enterprise D all the time.
I love it. Well, that's because they had paper, printers. Hewlett Packard is still around in the 24th century. That's why shit's on fire.
God, Xerox.
So, like the thing I liked about it was like they actually talk about ESP like this is a real life science division.
Yeah.
Which you're like, what? And then they start making shit up like Esper. Like, what? That's crazy talk. That's some new age voodoo stuff. What is that? That's funny to me. Captain Trek, what was your did you like the episode? Because it's been me and Canuck just like going on about this. What do you think, man? Like, be the tide breaker here.
Overall, I would say it's vastly superior to the first pilot. You've got better acting, except from the Doctor. And otherwise,
wait a second. You didn't like Marky Mark?
No. He's kind of a pointless character. Overall, yeah, I liked the episode. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. I can watch that in reruns.
Yeah, I mean it was fine. I mean the Doctor was head and shoulders above the Cage Doctor, but
well, see, like we said earlier,
like we said before we went on the podcast, like the first Doctor, we all agreed he was just a bad doctor. This guy had no chemistry with any of the other people. He was just there. So that's why when we get to DeForest Kelley, he's such a great, he's got chemistry. He interacts good. He's a charmer. And one of the things that they had, you could see with the first two, and then with DeForest Kelley, like they wanted the Southern Doctor. With the first two Doctors, it was, they wanted the old Southern Doctor. When they finally got to DeForest Kelley, they took out the old and they just kept Southern Doctor. And that, that works. It's just you needed someone who had chemistry with the actors. With this guy, there was just nothing. Even when he's in the action, he kind of seemed to just have no life to him. Even when Kirk and Spock, it kind of did lead on him to wake Kirk up and Spock up. It was just like, dude, you're the only one conscious in the room, and there's still just like nothing there. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's like, the hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was all right. That's about as far as I go. I mean, it wasn't tremendous. I mean, the visuals were okay. I've always kind of liked the lampshade thing on the Enterprise. I always thought that was kind of cool. And then they
that's
get
why
rid of it.
Well, that's why I have on the Melbourne chair that I made for Stormfront Part 1 and 2. Like I had that lampshade thing on my captain's chair because I really wanted that to be reminiscent of a Pike-esque chair. So they actually put that on my captain's chair.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because I dug that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Plus, if the lighting ever goes out, you just flip another switch and you get a light.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It's aesthetics. Plus, it's multifaceted.
Yeah.
Gives the captain a little bit more light on his face for the camera. So I don't know. I mean, I think we've pretty much covered this episode.
Yeah.
We didn't break it down scene by scene, but I don't really like doing those kind of reviews. I like more of just the roundtable discussion. I hope everybody else can appreciate that. It's going to make editing this fun because I don't know where to put what and where, but we'll have some fun with it. But we'll go around. We'll give everybody their final grade, their final comments on this, and we'll wrap this sucker up. So, Vance, you go first.
This is actually one of my favorite episodes of TOS, given the fact that we got to see classic original series characters kind of out of their element, but sort of in their element. You got to see Scotty in Cage era uniform. You got to see Sulu in Cage era uniform, sort of. He was in the science division, which was weird because we're used to seeing him at the helm. You did see Spock in a Cage era uniform, but he was in command, which was weird because he was at the science station. So it was different. This felt more like an Elseworlds version of Star Trek. A what if type story. So this, even though this takes place in canon, this still feels slightly off. So I enjoyed this a lot. I like the character of Gary Mitchell. I like the story with him and Kirk. I like the fact that we get to see a little bit more of Kirk's history. To me, it wasn't so much of Kirk being, the bravado type man. This was a captain who's struggling with, what should I do with, I don't want to kill my friend, but I have a ship to look out for. And then, we haven't yet seen the deep relationship between him and Spock, but we're starting to see the seeds of that planted here. So, given the fact that we know like what happens with Star Trek 2, seeing the seeds of that planted here, I really enjoyed that. So for me, I would have to say, given the context of everything and on its own and what this actually stood for, given the fact that this was kind of, everything was kind of weighing on this, given the fact that the Paramount at the time did not like the Cage and they were looking at this under a microscope, I would have to say, for me, I'd have to say it's 9 out of 10. I want to say 10 out of 10, but I don't think anything is perfect. So I would have to say either 9.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. So it's as good as it gets for me, just because I can't say it's perfect. I'd say 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10.
Okay. Cap?
5 out of 10. Absolutely. Not great. Not horrible.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be the harshest, of course. I'm going 4. Because it's just, the story was good when it came to between Kirk and his friend. But the rest of it was just kind of, and then it just, I don't know. For me, it just felt off. And corny. Very corny. But anyway.
You were really crying when Kelso died, and that's what really bombed it for you, isn't it?
I could care less. Oh my goodness. All right. So we'll end it there. And I want to thank Vance and Captain Trek for joining me again. And till next time, take her easy, folks.